everybody. My name is Barbara J. Evans /Cook. My daughter's name is Antonia Lavette Evans. My daughter and I, we had an estranged relationship for a while, but we finally got the rough parts away and we became loving mother and daughter. I would talk to my daughter every morning to make sure she's up for work, and we would just always end our goodbyes with "I love you," just going over old stories and laughing, talking about my mom, my family, and just getting along and having fun. And she would tell me about her job and how she loved her job, and we had pretty good conversation. And she just stopped calling and stopped answering me. And then she finally called me one day and she told me this guy she's with had jumped on her and busted her mouth all up where she couldn't go to work. And I got real upset about that. I told her, you need to be careful. So I guess they broke up. And when I talked to her maybe about 2 weeks after that, this guy was back in her apartment again. And I asked her, why do you have this guy back in here after he busted your mouth? She told me they talked and they decided to see if they can make it work. That was red flags for me. I told her to be careful. I told her to be careful. You young ladies out here, you be careful. If a guy hits you, leave him alone. Stay away. If you have to move, get away from him. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. My daughter is gone now because she went back. Don't never go back, especially if you're with somebody that's aggressive like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I tried to tell her to be careful.
Uh-huh.
They got into it. I don't know what happened. She called me one day and she was saying, telling this guy, get away from me. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Just get away from me. And when she mentioned that I'm talking to my mother, that's when he backed off from her. But I think maybe about a week after that, they got into it and she told him to leave or whatever. But she called the police on this guy, and she went with the police outside, and however she got the door keys from the guy. I would be talking to her and he's constantly ringing her phone trying to talk to her, and she wouldn't talk to him. And she'll tell me he's calling again. And then she finally changed her phone number. I told her, I said, but he knows where you catch the bus at. He knows what time you go to work, what time you get off. He knows this. Then all of a sudden I keep calling her. I was in Chicago in July. I called her. I wanted to see her. No answer, no answer. I go back home. I still call her. I tell friends. I tell her sister. Ann's not answering. Something's wrong. Still no answer. I keep calling and calling and calling. Still no answer. I knew something was wrong because we had a beautiful relationship. We were talking. We were loving mother and daughter. All of a sudden, I don't hear from her again. So when I didn't hear from her almost a month. And then she finally called me and told me this guy had busted her mouth all up. And she almost lost her job.
Mm-hmm. And another one too, Queen, is the funeral happened September the 30th. September the 30th. There was the funeral. Can you recall how after did you see the casket pic, and what took you so long to come to the public, and why did you choose Chosen King platform to have your voice heard?
I saw the body in the casket. Somebody put it on Facebook, I believe. I'm not sure if it was Facebook or YouTube, but I saw the body. But let me get it right. I saw the body, and I looked at the face. So you gotta realize, I already know that's my daughter in the freezer with all this makeup, this light makeup on. But my daughter is dark complexion. So I'm like, are they doing tricks? So I started looking at the body in the casket, and I looked at it real good. And I knew that was Ann in that casket. I knew that was my daughter in that casket. I just been watching it, and when I knew that was my daughter, I wouldn't come out and say anything, because I notice people are losing their lives with this Rosemont Hotel, Crown, whatever. I notice people are losing their lives. So I gotta be careful of what approach I take with this, because this, I've never seen anything like this in my life. This is crazy. And I would listen to you, Chosen, and I would listen to you, and I know you knew something was up. I knew my baby was in that freezer, but I reached out to a couple of YouTubers. Honest, I reached out to them. They didn't want to be bothered with me. I'm not a troll. I'm not going to mention their names, but I'm not a troll. I kept listening to you. I heard you say, if it take 10 years, I'm going to get you. And when you said, I'm not scared, that's when I told you, send me your email. Send me your email. And that's when I told you. That's my daughter in that freezer at that hotel, and that's my daughter in that casket. And I told you, I am 100% sure that's my daughter in that freezer and in that casket. Now, as far as Miss Teresa is concerned, she's a liar. She know good and well that's my daughter in that casket, and that's my daughter in that freezer. I don't know what she's doing or what she got going, but she's a lie. And I'm telling everybody that's listening to my voice, that's my daughter. That's Antonia Evans in that freezer. That's Antonia Evans in that casket. That's my daughter. I know my daughter when I see my daughter. Look at how they look how they just beat and bruise my daughter up. It's just crazy. All her hair has been shaved off her head. Her organs are missing. Come on now. This is ridiculous. How do you think you're going to make my daughter disappear off the face of this earth? Not as long as I'm living and breathing. Okay, Miss Martin. Miss Teresa Martin, let's go. Let's go. You want to go to TMX or whatever? We're going to be there side by side. I'm ready. You're not getting away with this one.
Amen. And Queen, could you tell the world what happened when you started to like trace your daughter steps, like go back to her apartment, make calls there, everything like that?
I went to her apartment complex. I've knocked. I saw a young man out there. I asked him, "Have you seen my daughter? She's missing." And he asked me, he says, "Your daughter dark complexion and real skinny?" I said, "Yes, with the birthmark between her eyes." He told me, he said, "I haven't seen her around in here. I haven't seen her in a while." I went downtown to this landlord's office. I knocked, no answer. I called his number. I told him who I am. I gave him my name. I told him I'm Antonia's mother. I'm trying to find out where my daughter is. When did she move out? What's happening? He hung the phone up on me rapidly. I dialed back again. The phone went into voicemail. I dialed back again. The phone went into voicemail. I waited the next day. I dialed the number again and went into voicemail. So I waited a week later. I dialed that same number again. This guy answered the phone. I said, "Hi, how are you? I'm Antonia Evans' mother. I would like to know what happened to my daughter. Where's her things? When did she move out? What's going on?" Click, he hung the phone up on me again. So I'm starting to think, this guy must know something. Okay, you got to realize I went to that apartment twice. The second time when I'm going back, the second time when I saw the young man, he took me directly to my daughter's apartment. I knocked on the door. A young lady answered the door. And I told her who I was. I asked the young lady, how long have she been staying there? She told me she had been living there for a month. I had went on Truth Finders and I already seen on there that apartment had been rented out. So, where's my daughter?
And Queen, before the freezer picture came and before the casket picture came out, you was kind of on Teresa's side, wasn't you?
No.
I mean, before the freezer picture came out and stuff, you was actually like, sympathetic towards her, like, I'm saying like sympathetic towards her, like, this,
no.
She lost her daughter and stuff.
No.
So you actually saw your daughter in pictures.
No. No, I'm not going to sit up here and lie. No.
Okay. Alright. What, did your daughter leave behind children? And if so, could you tell us a little bit about them? And
her oldest child is deceased. And she only had 2 children, 2 boys. Marlon lives in another state, and I have not told him what's going on yet. He's kind of curious because he wants to know, Grandma White, why are you back in Chicago again? What are you doing in Chicago? He's questioning me. And I've got to tell this kid, rather, I'll change that. I've got to tell this young man that his mother is gone and how she suffered. It is hurting me. I'm crying every day. This is killing me. You guys out there, this is killing me. I've got to tell him what happened to his mother.
And Queen, Teresa said denied by a church. The church leader came out and said it was false. In the phone conversation we had with you, you said that you attended this church at one point in time. What is your take on what she said about this church?
Bethlehem Healing Temple. I was raised up in that church, 12 South Oakley Boulevard. I heard that she said the church denied her, and I couldn't believe that. I even talked to my cousin about that. We talked about that last week, how she lied on the church. Why would you lie on the church, Teresa? I grew up in that church. I grew up in the same neighborhood. I used to live around the corner from where Teresa is living right now. Why would you tell everybody on social media that Bethlehem Healing Temple turned you down and wouldn't let you have your daughter funeral there? You know why? Because you a liar. You a liar. That's my daughter. Had they knew that was my daughter, they would have did the funeral there. You a liar, Teresa.
And Queen, the guy that your daughter was seeing and with, he has, to this day, he has been seen by you on the as a surveillance footage, right?
Of course. I seen him in the lobby at the hotel.
The guy that was seeing your daughter, he has been seen by you on the surveillance footage.
Yes.
For the Crown Platinum.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. What would you give young ladies, the young ladies who are tuning in to this interview about abusive relationships, and what advice would you give them about being when they're in an abusive relationship of that sort?
Get away. Get away as fast as you can. Do a background check. Some of them don't cost you but about $4.99. When they start getting aggressive, get away from them. I just had a niece go through something like that. Come on now. Do paperwork.
Right.
I asked my daughter, why would you go back after this man bust your mouth? It don't make sense. You young ladies, you gotta be smarter than this. Don't let nobody hit on you and beat on you.
And since the first phone interview with you, Queen, we've had a lot of people send in emails. We had people jump up on the panel who really support you, and they're really behind you 100%. What is the message you would like to send to those who are behind you in getting justice for your daughter?
I want everyone to know that I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you believing in me. I need your help and support. Help me get my daughter. Help me. Please help me. My daughter has been buried under a bogus name. Teresa standing up there with a dress on, with her arms all out, with waves on it, with her hand up in the air. Come on now, Miss Teresa, you know better than this. You know better than this. Getting hugs from people. People sympathizing with you. Believing that you lost your daughter. That's my baby in that casket. What is wrong with you? You went too far this time. I don't know what kind of life you lead, what you do every day or every night, who you pray to, who's your God, what goes up and what goes down in your life. I tell you this, Miss Teresa. That ain't your baby. That's my baby.
Mm.
I birthed Antonia Evans in the world, not you. And for you to stand up there in front of all those people at this church, lying, in the church of God, you lie.
Mm.
A lot of people knew that wasn't who was supposed to be in that casket. I heard people say, well, she looked darker. She looked darker. Well, she's dark complexion. Look how they blowed her face all up with all that embalming stuff. Come on, Miss Teresa, that's my daughter. Be human. Be human. Like I said, when you call TMZ, I'm ready. Do you understand me, Miss Teresa? When you call TMZ, I'm ready. Because we're going to be side by side.
Yeah, I heard it.
You ain't going to get away with this one. You ain't going to get away with this one. And RS, I see you. Do you hear me, RS? I see you. I see you, RS. You ain't gonna get away with this one. You tried to make my daughter disappear off the face of this earth. But you ain't gonna get away with this one. I saw you. I saw you. I saw what you did. Miss Teresa, I saw you. I saw you. I saw you with my own two eyes, Miss Teresa. I even checked your wardrobe, Miss Teresa. I saw you. I saw you with your blonde hair. Other people didn't, maybe they didn't see you. But I saw you. I saw you standing there